Welcome back to Read to Beat, the show where we turn financial confusion to financial confidence, one idea at a time. Wherever you are listening from, a morning, a commute, a quiet evening, or a walk around your neighborhood. Thank you for spending this time with us. Today we are stepping into a place almost every single one of us visits without thinking twice. The store, not just the physical asset, but the digital one too. The app, the website, the checkout page. Because here's the truth we don't talk about enough. Stores are not neutral spaces. They are designed, engineered, and tested by teams of psychologists, architects, and data scientists whose entire job is to make you spend more than you planned. This is not a conspiracy theory, it's documented billion-dollar science called retail psychology. Today, we are going to walk through 10 of the most powerful tactics retailers use to influence your wallet, and more importantly, how simply knowing about them help you take your power back. Let's begin. Point number one. The store layout is a mess, not a map. Every retail store you walk into has been mapped out with the military precision, and almost nothing is placed by accident. Essentials like milk, bread, and eggs are usually pushed to very back of the store, forcing you to walk past essence of tempting unplanned items just to reach them. This is called decompression zone strategy. The first few steps inside a store are designed to slow you down and get you into browsing mindset before you even reach your actual list. Retailers know that the longer you stay inside, the more you buy. So they literally engineer your walking path to maximize your exposure to products. For example, supermarket may place fresh flowers and bakery smells right at the entrance, not because it's convenient, but because it triggers positive emotional state that makes you more respective to spending. This single design choices sets the tone for everything that follows. Once you understand that the store's floor plan is working against your budget, you start walking through it very differently with intention instead of wandering. Next, point number two, price anchoring makes you feel like you are winning. Once you are moving through that mess, the next trick waiting for you is called price anchoring, and it plays directly with how your brain judges value. Anchoring works by showing you higher original price right next to a lower sale price. So your brain instantly compares the two and feels like it getting a deal. Even if the discounted price is still more than the item is actually worth, retailers often inflate the original price specifically to make the markdown look more dramatic than it really is. Let's say example about this point. Jacket priced normally at $60 might be listed as was $150, now $60, making you feel like just saved $90, when in reality $60 may have always been its fair market value. This tactic works because your brain doesn't evaluate price in isolation. It evaluates price in comparison. Retailers control exactly what you are comparing it to. The moment you catch yourself feeling excited about a discount, pause and ask what the item is actually worth on its own, independent of the number crossed, but beside it. Next, point number three, scarcity and urgency hijack your decision making speed. After anchoring convinces you something is a good deal, retailers add a second layer of pressure, the fear that it might disappear. Phrases like only 3 left in stock, sell in 2 hours, or selling fast are designed to trigger a survival based response in your brain that prioritizes speed over logic. When you feel like time or supply is running out, your brain shifts from careful evaluation to impulsive action. Because historically, scarcity has always signaled real danger or real opportunity. Online stores use this constantly. A flight booking site might show only 2 seats left at this price, even when that number resets constantly and doesn't reflect true availability. This urgency short circuits the natural pause most people would take before a purchase, pushing you to decide in seconds rather than minutes. The moment you see a countdown timer or a limited stock warning, that's actually your cue to slow down deliberately, because urgency is rarely about the product. It's about your decision making speed. Next, point number four, your senses are being marketed to, not just your eyes. Scarcity works on your mind, but retailers also work directly on your body through sensory design, often without you even noticing it's happening. Stores carefully choose background music, tempo, lighting, warmth, and even specific scents to shape your mood and by extension your spending behavior. Lower music tends to make shoppers walk more leisurely and spend more time browsing, while pleasant scents like fresh baked bread or vanilla can increase feelings of comfort and trust in an environment. For example, many clothing retailers pump in a signature fragrance because studies show it can increase the time customers spend in store and their overall spending. Lighting is used the same way. Warm, soft lighting on premium products makes them look more luxurious, while bright, sharp lighting on clearance items creates a sense of straightforward practically. None of this is random, it's calibrated environmental psychology. Recognizing that your senses are part of the sales strategy helps you separate how a store makes you feel from what you actually came to buy. Next, point number 5, the decoy effect steers you toward the middle option. While your senses are being influenced, pricing structures are quickly steering your choices through something called the decoy effect. This happens when a retailer offers three pricing tiers, where the middle option is deliberately positioned to look like some smartest choice, even if it is not. The classic example is a movie theater offering small popcorn for $3, medium for $6.5, and the large for $7. The medium option exists almost entirely to make the large seem like an obvious bargain by comparison. Without that medium decoy, most people would simply buy the small, but with it in place, sales of large option increase dramatically. Subscription services use this constantly to offering a basic, premium, and pro tier, where the premium tier is priced just close enough to pro that pro suddenly feels worth it. This tactic doesn't sell you on value, it sells you on comparison. Once you notice middle option that seems oddly placed, ask yourself what you did choose if that option didn't exist at all. Next, point number 6, free samples trigger a hidden sense of obligation. Beyond pricing tricks, retailers also use a deeply human psychological principle called reciprocity. And however, is it more visible than free samples? When someone gives you something for free, even something small, your brain instinctively feels a mild social obligation to give something back in return. This is why grocery stores offer free tastings of cheese, sauces, or snacks, not purely out of generosity, but because studies consistently show sampling significantly increase the odds you will purchase that item afterward. Beauty stores do the same with free samples of skincare or makeup, knowing that trying the product creates both familiarity and a subtle sense of it. This tactic works so well precisely because it doesn't feel like a sales tactic at all. It feels like kindness. The key is not to avoid samples altogether, but to recognize that accepting one doesn't create any real obligation to buy, and you are always free to say thank you and walk away. Next, point number 7, the checkout aisle is built for your weakest moment. By the time you reach the checkout line, retailers have one final opportunity and they use it strategically by placing low cost, high impulse items exactly where you are standing still with nothing to do but wait. Candy, gum, magazines, phone chargers, and small gadgets are placed here because your willpower is naturally lower after a long shopping trip, and small prices feel emotionally insignificant compared to what's already in your cart. For example, $2 chocolate bar feels like nothing when you are about to pay for $80 worth of groceries, even though those small add-ons can total significant amounts over a year of shopping trips. E-commerce platforms replicate this exact psychology online through frequently bought together. Pops up right before you click place order. This is deliberately the point in your shopping journey where your card is lowest and your fatigue is highest. Knowing this is a simple but powerful habit is to mentally finalize your purchase before you ever reach the checkout counter or payment page. Next, point number 8, loyalty programs turn spending into a gain. Once you will complete the purchase, retailers want to make sure you come back, and the loyalty programs are designed to campfire that return visit using rewards, points, and tiers. These programs tap into psychological principle where progress toward your goal feels satisfying and motivating you to spend more simply to level up or unlock the next reward tier. For example, a coffee shop loyalty card that requires 10 stamps for a free drink often encourages people to choose that shop over a cheaper alternative purely to keep the streak going. Retail apps that takes is take this further with push notifications reminding you of expiring points or double reward days, which reintroduce urgency even after you will left the store. The clever part is that these programs feel like retailers are rewarding your loyalty when in reality they're often engineering your spending patterns and repeat visits. Loyalty programs are not inherently bad, but it's worth asking whether you are buying because you need something or because you are chasing the next reward milestone. Next point number 9, social proof convinces you everyone else already decided. While loyalty programs pull you back in, social proof works to remove your doubt the moment you are deciding what to buy. Labels like bestseller, trending now, or 500 people bought this today are powerful because humans are wired to trust the choices of crowd, especially when we are uncertain. This is why online stores prominently display star ratings and review counts right next to the price. Seeing thousands of positive reviews reduces the mental effort required to trust a product enough to buy it. For example, a restaurant with a line outside will often attract more customers than an empty one nearby, even if the food quality is identical, simply because the crowd itself becomes a recommendation. Retailers Retailers actively highlight this signal because it outsources your judgment to strangers, making the decision feel safer and faster. The next time you're seeing a trending or bestseller tag, it's worth remembering that popularity is not the same as personal need or actual quality. Next point number 10, bundling makes more feel like saving. Finally, once you will convinced a product is popular and worth testing, retailers deploy one last tactic, bundling, where buying more is reframed as a smarter financial decision than buying less. Offers like buy two, get one free, or spend $50, get free shipping, are designed to increase your total basket size by making the bigger purchase feel like the more rational, value driven choice. For example, skincare brand might price a single item at $20, but three items at $45, making the bundle feel like obvious savings, even if you only needed one product at begin with. This tactic exploits a mental shortcut where we associate getting more for slightly more money with being financially smart, without asking whether we needed the extra items at all. Subscription boxes and buffer still pricing use the same logic, encouraging consumption based on perceived value rather than actual need. The next time your bundle feels like an obvious win, pause and calculate the cost of only one item you originally came for. At last, finally, and there you have it, 10 psychological tactics working together from the moment you walk through the door to the second you tap confirm payment. Store layers guide your path, price anchors shape your comparisons, scarcity speeds up your decisions, sensors shift your mood, decoys steal your choices, samples create obligation, checkout lines catch your weakest moment, loyalty programs amplify your return, social proof removes your doubt, and the battling reframes frames more spending as more spending. None of these tactics are illegal and none of them make you weak for falling for them. They are built by experts specifically to work on all of us, but awareness changes everything. The next time you shop, whether in a store or online, you will start noticing these patterns in real time, and that recognition alone is one of the most powerful financial tools you can carry with you. If this episode helped you see shopping in a new light, share it with someone who could use a little more financial awareness in their life. This has been Read to Build. Until next time, keep learning, keep building, and keep spending with intention. Thank you.